Look, Darzin, it was for your own good.
You can say that, but
We are live in Crow-free.
oh,
R.I.P. Crowford.
you didn't
Jim's
have to
still
stop
getting over it.
opening the stream, rubbing it in that my pet crow is dead.
I mean, it can still be your pet crow if you want it.
Yeah.
What, puppet it like pate?
Yeah.
Nah.
It feels very Darzin to do that.
It does.
Someone was about to recap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was that? Who had all the answers? Because it
It
certainly
was-
wasn't me.
Definitely wasn't me.
It was me because I am too invested in Curse of Strahd.
You're our Danny Carr.
I don't know who Danny Carr is.
He does the Critical Role recaps.
Oh, her. Yeah. Yeah, I know who Danny Carr is. Danny Dyer. That's who I was thinking of.
That's a whole different Danny. Can you imagine Danny Dyer doing recaps of a D&D session?
The voice of Jim's next character.
So yeah,
Is that for the D&D EastEnders game that we're running?
I would play that.
Oh god. We don't need
And the
that.
DM is Jeremy Kyle.
Everyone
Well,
rather
that
back
I
in
would
initiative.
I was with you till Jeremy Kyle.
Oh, I'm more here for it now.
Okay.
So the last session, we kicked the shit out of the last few vampires. We got taunted by Ludmilla a little bit. Everybody confronted Darzin on his lair. So he's revealed that he's banged Strahd at least once.
We spent most of the session talking about that.
He's
Yeah, we
like
spent
a
most of the
privy
session
door when the plague's in town. To
Yep.
quote Blackadder.
It's accurate. Darzin went to walk around town. He tried to detect thoughts on Strahd, who legendary resisted it, so that's kind of shit Darzin up a little bit, because that's not a good thing to have done.
Got caught doing.
Yeah. And after a bit of a nap, we all went to the Wachter house to have a little nose around. And at the conclusion of the episode, Darzin had a little flashback to watching Isaac Stranzi get murdered by the Fleshbound beneath Death House when he first arrived in Barovia.
Don't ever say Fleshmound again, please.
Fleshbound.
Oh.
Yeah, Darzin's just sort of come to on the bed. What you all doing?
Wish we knew.
Well, I'm in the corridor for some reason.
We were just generally
Okay.
searching through the Burgomaster's house, weren't we?
Everyone was going, oh, rooms! And then I went, no, Darzin's moment. So,
So have we just woken up then?
No,
Yeah.
we'd woken up and we'd gone to the Burgomaster's house, hadn't we?
yeah, so it's
Was it
first
the
thing in the
morning?
morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is
They've
anybody
sort of
here, or
turned
is it like a
into-
crime scene?
Yes, it's been turned into a
It's
sort
like a
of
refuge.
yeah. They were making
Ah,
porridge
yeah.
for people that didn't have homes were in beds.
And also, the Burgomaster himself has been stoned to death while he's stuck in the stocks.
And you
Beautiful.
got in saying you were sent by Lady Voctor.
I don't remember how we got it.
That's what you said, and they just sort of went, yeah, okay.
Right. Let's start rummaging.
Yeah, I'm going to go into the room that Milton and I were next to, across from the one that Darzin's in. I take it the ladder to the side is one of those ladders for libraries?
I should
It's-
bring up the text for this route for this whole house, shouldn't I? That would help. Yeah, you step into what is undeniably a library, floor to ceiling shelves lining all of the surrounding walls in this windowless room.
With books and
full of books.
such.
All of the books. There is a large desk in the centre of the room and a comfortably padded chair as well.
And also a large femur on the rug for some reason.
I was wondering if that was bones on the rugs.
That is just a pattern. Oh no, I know what that is. Okay, so ignore it. Raw, he has 2 dogs, and that would be where his dogs sit chewing bones. But I left the dogs out.
Okay.
You've got enough fucking pets.
I
So
think
you would-
Hazel would
you can
disagree
have
that
that
you can never have too many pets.
I think you'll find Darson is in the market for new pets.
Not keen on weasels anymore.
We're starting to have a bad history with animals, so let's just.
Let's leave them to.
Our losses.
Go on,
May I
straight to the
Yeah.
papers on the desk.
And Hazel, what were you saying?
I just want to investigate the desk. Any hidden compartments? Anything interesting in drawers?
Yeah, there are 3 drawers in the desk. None of them are locked. It's mainly, if you take them out, these big files containing tax records which date back all the way to the Baron's father, grandfather, and at that point I would assume you'd keep going through them. And then, things that you would find in a desk, blank sheets of parchment, jars of ink, writing quills.
Ye oldie playboy.
A tiefling pin-up girl hidden between the pages of the ledger.
Can I just pocket a couple kind of things of ink, few quills, and a bit of parchment just in case we ever need them?
In case you ever get a wizard. Yeah.
In case I ever need to write a letter, a note, a warning.
Yeah, well, Milton will
always
kill
ask-
whatever you give it to.
You could always ask Darzen. He can write a letter mid-battle if you need him to.
In 6 seconds.
In my defense, I didn't think that was going to end up having to be his full action, just to like quickly scribble. But it makes sense.
Is absence invisible, or is it just me?
I can see him.
Oh,
I can
okay.
see him.
Graham can't see him.
I can't see him.
I assume Graham's the new Crowford.
Let me look at Graham's.
Maybe I'm very stealthy and he can't see me.
um,
I'm stood next to him.
Oh, he's set to hostile. No, he's friendly. Vision.
Now I can't see Graham.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't see why.
Maybe delete absence and put him back on because he seems to have a blind condition on him that I can't remove.
I absent. I absent.
No, he's still got it. It's weird.
Let me. Use it.
And I still can't see him.
Bit weird.
Yeah, stream can't see him either.
No, that's the only reason I know he's not visible because the stream can't see him.
Let me just check to see if I'm in as Graham or Alexander.
Refresh the stream page.
I have
Why?
done.
Oh,
Does he want?
Yeah, no, I'm as Alexander.
I can only see Milton, but I assume that's because I'm stuck in a little tiny room all by myself.
I can't remove the blinded condition.
No, I'll figure that out. I wouldn't worry. figure something out. Maybe
Well,
if
we
I
want
just
Graham to see us.
maybe if I re-import him.
What's
Don't worry.
happening?
We've only got
Carry
one
on.
power left.
Who can see who?
I can
I-
see Milton and Graham.
I can see Milton, Graham, and Darzin.
I can see
I-
everyone I'm supposed to be seeing in the room. I think Milton and Absence and Graham.
And Alexander?
Have you got some kind of conditional vision module enabled?
I can see Dawson.
I haven't done anything to the modules.
I've been able to see everyone at some point in all of this, other than Absence.
Bog exploration's on, but everything else is ticked as well. Does that do anything?
Have you got conditional visibility?
Yeah, have you got under modules? Have you got conditional visibility or something like that?
It automatically makes tokens invisible if you're passive perception, etc., etc.
Because I am very stealthy, so I would have quite a high. I think I've got 17 passive stealth.
Oh yeah, conditional visibility. I haven't.
Yeah,
I
and my
haven't done
wisdom's
anything
quite
to
high, so
modules.
my passive perception be quite high, which is probably why I can see him.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. And save.
I
And
love that. I'm so stealthy, you can't see me when I'm next to you in the room.
fucking Foundry.
There's always a teeth and pain somewhere.
To be fair, it's the modules that are not part of the core, but every day's a school day. And I figured out how to delete the condition as well, so I'll do that.
I'm stuck with concentration, so please tell me how you did it.
I think if you click on the conditions, there's a clear all in the top right.
Ah, okay.
Try that.
Good to know.
That's
Thank
what
you.
I'm going to try.
Here it comes, here it comes.
I can see everybody.
I've still not loaded back in. But whilst we're waiting for some people to load back in, Dawson's going to take whatever doll he can spot of Isaac that looks closer to the one that he saw getting fucking murdered by an undulating flesh mound.
Oh, he doesn't have a doll of himself.
Oh. Well,
He has
that's why
dolls of others.
everyone else. Well, fuck him then.
You can always commission one from Blinsky.
Oh,
Saved him.
we'll see.
I'm still not back in. So
but he-
describe whatever you want to be doing or how you're moving.
Are there any...
Can-
Sorry, go on, Hazel.
I was just going to say, can Alexander just look for any books that look useful and or expensive or old?
Books and such.
Uh, mm, mm, mm.
It's how you win the books, right? You find the oldest, most expensive looking ones.
Let's do
Can see.
for expensive. Do me an investigation check.
Okay. An investigation. Dun, 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 don't be shit. You like money, damn it. 11. He finds a book on the rarely seen Barovian wild hamster.
Yeah, there's a lot of books, and they're all in pretty good condition. That being said, they're quite dusty, but the majority of them are what you'd expect from an expensive looking book. They're hard. You can tell your basic paperbacks, your thumbed like Tusk Love, and then a lot of like hardback, nicely made
there any-
books, but you
any
can't
that-
tell which ones would be rarer.
Are there any that aren't quite as dusty, so they seem to be used or referenced a lot?
I feel like this is this is gearing towards the tell me the name of every book in this library.
You know what? I have the names of a lot of books.
Oh.
They're not in a very helpful order at the moment. Give me an investigation, Milton.
Yeah,
If I'm
okay.
already looking, can I help him with that?
Ability
I want to have a
check.
look for anything on the history of Barovia or anything about Strahd.
Can I have an investigation from you too?
Meanwhile, Dawson is just going to pile one doll of every other person into his bag and then walk out of the room to rejoin everyone else.
I
Nice.
don't think we're supposed to be able to find books from the rolls we're having.
Where's our wizard that we need one?
Milton. What were you looking for?
Oft
Something that's been
referenced.
used a lot.
Yeah. I only rolled an 8 though.
Again, quite difficult to tell. You'd expect maybe if it was often used, it would be on the desk. We can say that on the desk you might have some copies of books on business and commerce. But no, nothing particularly interesting. Absence, with a 14, you will find The Land Before the Lord, A Brief History of Barovia.
Okay, I think I will take that for reading later.
And I will send you some text. Wherever it is. Anyone else doing anything else? I mean, Alexander, you can take a couple of books that look nice and in good condition and see whether they're valuable.
Yeah, whatever has like the nicest inlay, any that seem to be older and maybe first edition.
Mickey's just gonna. She doesn't really know what we're looking for or what's happening for the most part. She's just looking out for anyone approaching. So to walking up and down this corridor.
Nick is on patrol. How many books are you taking, Alexander?
I don't want to carry too many, so I could probably get away with maybe carrying about 3.
3?
1 in the pocket, 1 in the hand.
Yeah. I will work out which books you have at some later date.
I prefer ones with blue covers. Blue or black covers.
Okay, that
Don't
can
know why.
definitely be sorted. Anyone for anything else whilst you're in the library?
Alexander checked out the desk, drawers, and etc. Didn't he?
It's all quite dull.
Yeah, no, that's me done in there then. I'm the turnip of this campaign, I think.
Someone has to be. What about up the ladder? Or under the rugs?
Under the rugs there are floorboards, and the ladder is just one of those that you can move around all of the walls on wheels to get to the highest shelves. It doesn't lead. If you look at the ceiling, there isn't. I mean, there's a light fixture, but that's it.
Milton, did you want to come and check this room? You stopped right in front of me rather suspiciously.
Oh, not necessarily, but I will pop my head in. That looks creepy, and I'll pop back out again.
Up here we have a bedroom, but there's also a smaller room which concerns me somewhat.
Found it. Wait. I found a brief history of Barovia.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, let me put that in a handout to give to you.
It's quite a concerning room you found, Alessander.
It kind of reminds me of how we ended up here in the first place.
How did you end up here in the first place? No one's ever actually told me that story.
Well, we were all travelling through some woods, set up an encampment, and the next morning we were somewhere elsewhere. But when we arrived in this elsewhere, which I suppose would be here, there was... I don't particularly like talking about it. There was a house that we had to... Well, we tried to help some children, and I cannot say that it went particularly well.
Well, did you help the kids in the end?
To a certain extent. They were mainly beyond our help in the first place.
Oh, well, if you did something, I'd say that's a win.
That was a nice moment of roleplay to help me out. You find in this room, it's mostly bare, except for some chains attached to the back of the wall and some blood on the floor.
Is the blood fresh-ish?
Medicine check?
I will help.
Is it
Thank
wet?
you. Is it wet?
If it's wet,
Where is my
it's
medicine?
no. If it's not, it is not.
Is it quit?
It's not wet, it's dried, but it's not.
It hasn't kind of sunk into the wood and like disappeared yet. It's still kind of...
Maybe a couple of days.
I wonder who this must have been then.
Could have been fucking anybody knowing that bad.
Milton, the room that you're in.
I'd just like to do a general look across the books, look in the cupboard, look behind the mirror, look on the bedside cabinet, look under the bed.
A general perception check?
You could say that.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a bedroom. The bookshelf is
Damn it.
it's much smaller than the library, obviously. The things that you find there are mostly fiction books. Nothing hugely suspicious. There's
An
a full...
indication of whose room this may have belonged to that we know.
You would see clothes belonging to a male in the closet. And even with a 10, it's not like they're hiding it. There is a trapdoor in the ceiling.
Alexander, there's a trapdoor in the ceiling.
Do you want to give me a boost?
Okay. Be careful now, won't you?
Oh, if I see anything, I'll scream.
I expect nothing less.
You could find a handle. Up to you if you want to pull it.
Yes.
Oh, look, a ladder. One of those nice... I've got one. You pull it down and then the ladder descends.
It knocks both of us out because of where we were.
It's got knives on the end.
Turns out it's a mimic.
Oh, Darzin. Okay.
Yes, hello. Sorry, you know what I'm like.
I know what
There's
you're
some
like.
dry
I,
water
Is it-
from
is-
I
everything.
enjoy a lovely explore.
So
Is he
while
already
we're
in the next
on each
town?
other's shoulders, Darzin finds too many documents open.
He finds too many documents open.
It
No,
just
that's
left
the
books
library.
open everywhere.
The
That's
room
just
you walk
documents.
into is, as you walk in, there's this immediate smell of like perfume and powder. It looks like a dressing room of sorts. There's a vanity mirror, full-length mirror at the other side of the room, and a mannequin in the corner. Is it in the corner? Is that a mannequin?
That looks like a mannequin.
Okay, it's not in the corner. A mannequin with a wedding dress on it.
I don't know why, but I always considered that Darzin was probably perfumed anyway.
No,
Am I wrong?
he can't
Oh, no,
afford perfume.
No, I think they'd do like little potpourri pouches throughout his cloak. That kind of situation.
Well, like during the plague sort of thing.
Yeah,
He just makes like
exactly.
flower
Like, that's
crown
pretty
necklaces to hide the smell of alcohol and shame.
So, being a bit messy because I'm not there, but can I just remind myself, the Lady Boctor's daughter, who is Cat Lady,
Ella,
was
yeah.
the one who was married to, was it the Burgomaster's son?
They were going to be married. They were
Okay.
courting. That was
They
the.
were betrothed. Okay. Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to have a thorough poke around in this room. Look really closely at the dress. Maybe like check himself out in that full-length mirror because he's vain as fuck.
Get
and,
yourself some perfume.
and then maybe take a bottle of perfume on the sly.
Darzin got an incredibly powdered white face with just one little pencil dot on his cheek.
Yeah, a little beauty mark.
Yeah, if you pat his hair, just like all that powder.
Yeah, I would say if anyone has a disguise kit, you could probably replenish it from the things in this room.
Oh, I have a disguise. No, wait, I don't have a disguise kit. I just know how to use one.
You know
Make
what?
one.
I can say you could make one from the things in this room.
Apparently, I do have one. I'm just going to add to it.
Okay, cool. So you pick up loads of powders and, I say face paint, makeup.
Here's another term.
Is there
It's
any?
another
There's no sunglasses in here, is there?
That hasn't been invented yet.
You don't want to be that
there's
guy
no
who wears his
fine
sunglasses at
dresses.
night.
It's got vampires in it. Vampires need sunglasses, surely, just to look cool at night.
It's always night.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy who
Look
wears his
cool all the
sunglasses
time.
out at night.
Oh, well, that's why vampires do it, isn't it? Because they're anachronistic. They think they're with the times, but really they're not.
No,
They
it's
just
just
wanna
because
look
they are
cool.
straight up cool.
So, do you want me to roll anything for snooping around in this room?
I'm not going to make you because there's nothing interesting in this room.
No, okay. Then
Cut to the chase.
Lots of makeup and perfume and fine clothes.
yeah, okay. You'll just head into the next room through the little northern door. Going, that's a strange collection of stuff and a rather ornate-looking wedding dress.
Gonna get attacked when he's on his own again.
Yeah,
Miles away
he'll
from
be
the
fine.
party.
Yeah,
You
Absence is right there.
I'm going.
You're probably in the master bedroom. It is a very large room, quite grandiose. The four-post, a bed, the furnishings, like this polished wood and velvet curtains, things like that. There's another smaller closet, some bedside tables, with what you would expect on them, glasses, a couple of, I will say, a couple of pearl earrings. They're not hiding. Jim, I think you might be muted.
I'm thinking.
He's
Oh,
just
okay.
flabbergasted.
That's his thinking face.
Yeah, he'll take him.
No one's there to stop you.
Be like, oh, nobody's going to know where these went, and he'll like tuck them inside his coat somewhere.
God, where is everyone? Okay. Milton and Sander are static. Who else is moving round?
Just gone out to the corridor, stood by Mick. It just
And-
feels like we're ransacking the place, which doesn't make Absence feel very comfortable.
Whilst you're loitering in that bedroom, Alessander and Milton, you'll find this well-thumbed series of books, Twilight, New Dawn, something to do about a love story. Yeah.
Right.
It seems very silly.
Well, these look good, actually. I think if I had more time, I might get into these. Alessander, what's up that bloody ladder, will you?
Just because you're a Twilight cleric, Milton, doesn't mean you need to read a book called Twilight.
You're not
If
there.
you're,
Light learn.
if you're if you're poking your head up, you will see a loft. There's no lighting up there, so it's quite difficult to make out what's up there. But there's another room, definitely.
Okay. Milton, there's another room up here. Would you be able to come up here and maybe brighten this up a little?
Yes, I've probably got a torch or something here. Yes, I've got lots of torches. I could light one. And I will. And pass it up to Alessander.
Thank you, because I don't seem to have anything currently.
Still just at the top of the ladder. You don't want me to move you upstairs.
Once I've got the torch, then I'll go upstairs. Once I can see.
Yeah,
I'm a scared boy.
you'll see your like wooden rafters, lots of cobwebs, lots of bulky shapes in the corners of the room with help
Heating
Tarps.
over
tarps
covers.
on them. Yeah, coverings. Yeah.
Okay, and up I go.
Oh wait, no, you don't. Not according to my map. But you would because I've described it now. How do I just bring you to this scene?
I'll follow Alessander.
And
Back up.
Milton, there you are. So you're in a little room, but you can see a door leading to a room beyond with lots of tarp and things.
Can I do a basic check of the room, just because this seems a little, obviously more private, maybe not as well known, so I just want to make sure that nothing's trapped or
Yeah, do me
conspicuous.
a perception check.
Before I disappear up the ladder, I'll just kind of shout into the corridor, assuming one of our party's there, just to let them know that we're heading up the ladder.
Should we follow them?
I think they're this way, Mick. Well, I think you can go that way if you want, but
Gonna go this way just to make sure there's no one there.
yeah, good call.
No, I don't think I can go that way.
Where are you going?
I got lost. I'll come back to you.
No, I think you nearly. Oh,
Oh, it's like Theros, not that way. Right, Foundry's kicked me out again. What did you get, Hazel?
20.
20?
20, not natural. It was dirty, but it's still a 20.
No 20 is dirty in my eyes.
This is
Oh
a
no, this 20 is very dirty.
It's a filthy 20.
and it's a filthy room. Apart from with your eagle eye, you can see there's clearly been a regular footfall between the trapdoor and the door, but the door doesn't seem trapped in any way. It looks safe to proceed, and I'll bring everyone else. Dazin, Mick.
I get a bad feeling. That's Hazel that gets the bad feeling. Alexander's had a bad feeling since he arrived in Barovia, so
Since the start of the campaign.
I think the whole place
I just-
is just a bad feeling, to be fair.
as I'm walking through, I just want to keep my eyes out for anything, again, conspicuous, or any containers large enough to hold a human body in case I get attacked by vampires again.
Or a doll.
Or a doll.
There are a lot of just crates and barrels and chests, but they all have a layer of thick dust on them, and none of them are human sized.
So, following the same track that led from the trapdoor to the door, I take it that goes all the way through to the door at the back.
Does indeed.
Being very careful, like weirdly careful to not touch anything. He's like holding his arms in. He'll walk to the back.
You come to a door where someone has quite crudely carved a large skull into the door, into the wood of the door, and the words in capitals, "All is not well."
I'm gonna look back at Milton.
I think we can probably conclude our investigation here and head back down.
But what if... Sorry, Mick. Nick,
No, I think you started talking fast.
I was gonna say, but what if there's someone in there, and if we don't check, they'll just get left?
Give him a little knock on the door. Is it?
Also, like home, Mick will say, just look.
Let's round everybody up first before we... Let's collect everybody.
Where's Absence? Is Absence downstairs, or can I just not see him again?
No, he's still in the first room.
Okay.
Did you just move me? I seem to have appeared in another room all of a sudden.
Are you in the attic now?
I didn't go to the attic, but I'm in the
Oh.
attic.
I moved everyone into the attic. So
Oh,
everyone
okay.
seems to have moved on apart from you, who was still in the first room.
Oh, okay. Can you move Graham
can
into the
I-
attic?
Oh, Graham. Sorry, someone knocked on the door.
Can I check the door for any, if there's already a warning sign of a skull, I'll probably check it before I even touch it.
Perception?
Guidance.
Oh. I will take that guidance because I fucking need it. Ten.
They're clearly not very artistic. This is not a good-looking skull. But otherwise it looks like a door. A locked door.
And I'll knock on it just 3 times, quite sharply.
I'll listen very carefully.
Can I have a perception?
And I'll guidance myself.
They get some of this big stuff up through that little hatch.
Heckin' heck! You hear very, very light, something very lightly across the floor. Like it's not human. It might be a small animal, maybe a rat. Can't tell exactly what, but there's. No, actually, you know what? That's a 28, isn't it? It is about the size of a. It's too small. It's too big to be a rat. It's much too small to be a human. And it's very, very light of step.
Are we gonna find like a chained up child or some shit in here?
Or
Did you hear
your
that?
favourite, a doll.
I definitely heard something moving, but it seems quite small or light at least. There's something in there for sure.
Do we want to maybe block its exit?
Close the door if that's what you mean.
Well, also, does the door that we're standing next to, the one with the skull on it, does it open inwards, so away from us, or outwards, so towards us?
Away from you.
Okay. Well, we could move maybe some of these more, one of these more solid benches or a few boxes in front of it. Open it over the boxes, and then that way, if it is something small, so maybe a gigantic rat, it can't get to us as easily, depending on how well it can jump.
I have no idea what Alessander is planning, but I can see that he's edgy, nervous, jumpy. Oh, okay, Alessander, we can do that. And I'll just help him move shit around just to try and put him at rest.
I won't make you do a check. You can move some of the boxes and furniture in front of the door.
I just want, like, you know how if you're trying to get something, like, if your cat brings a mouse into the kitchen and you get like a bit of cardboard or something to kind of steer it out the back door, or you kind of like shooing it, but I kind of just want something that we can use to contain any wild animal that might have got in there. If we get in there and it's a raccoon.
I can't visualize it, but I'm just going to say you can do it because there's nothing stopping you in this room moving things about.
Okay. Once we've done that, I'll open the door.
It's locked. How do you try to open the door?
Then I will try and unlock it.
Maybe have a look through the keyhole first.
Can I see through the keyhole?
Roll
Do
me
I
a
see any
perception.
light? Yeah, do I see any light coming through the keyhole as well? Like, does it look like there's light in there?
It does look like there is on the map, but there isn't.
14.
It's quite dark, but you would see what looks like maybe a desk, and a chair, some books.
Can I find anything that looks like a club or a quarterstaff, something in that kind of?
Yeah, you can just find a loose beam.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll call that a quarterstaff or a club.
Club. Thank you.
Okay, well, there seems to be a small living arrangement in there. Desk and books. Maybe I am just being a bit paranoid about blocking the door.
I think being paranoid is quite sensible here. If you want a staff, you can use mine, Mick.
No, this will do just fine. It's just kind of bangs it on the ground a couple of times. you want?
Okay.
You're trying to get to the door.
Just trying to figure out what's on the other side of it. I'm gonna try one last thing before we open it, and I'm just gonna shout, "Hello? There anyone in here?"
Yeah, nothing.
We mean you no harm. Hopefully.
No response.
Okay, can I use thief tools on the door, please?
Can you make
Guidance.
me a dex saving throw, please?
Oh,
Shit. Dexterity. Saving throw.
Is trap.
he's a rogue. He's got this.
20.
Nice. So you only take half damage.
Great. Just what I wanted to hear.
The eyes on the skull light up and flash as
Second, can I use uncanny dodge?
remind me how it works.
It says so when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction. So I don't know exactly what the attack is to know whether that's...
You don't have
you
evasion
can
yet,
use-
do you?
No. So it's just uncanny dodge. So that would then...
Half
you can
whatever
use
you
the
take.
reaction to halve the attack's damage
Half
against
it
you.
again. It's already halved, so I say you can half it again. So that's not
Thank
very
you.
much damage at all.
So
But there's this
Do
flash of
we-
light as you're struck by lightning. But let's say you duck behind one of the boxes you have carefully placed, and that takes the brunt of the damage.
okay, thank you. And do we round up or down? Would it be 6 or 5?
5.
Thank you.
Are you okay, Alessandra?
What type of damage was it?
Sorry, it was lightning damage.
And he's just kind of standing a little bit weirdly. As the
Absence
the
will
laughter
wander up and sort of start examining you, seeing if you're hurt. Are you hurt? You moved
I'm
pretty quick
okay.
there.
I'm okay. It was more of the shock of it than anything.
Whoever locked this door did not want it opened. We should leave it locked.
No, I think that gives us all the more reason to get in there.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Nick's gonna look around the room and see if there's possibly any clues there about how to open the door.
Also, healing word on Alessandra.
Also, vigilant blessing on absence, which is advantage on initiative.
7 hit points to Alessandra.
Nice.
You took 5 damage, but thank you.
That's why I used healing word.
Yeah, don't waste the good shit. Thank you.
Mick, do you want to do a perception check?
Could I actually investigate the so there was a skull that was on the door. Do I have this right? And then when we tried to open the door, the skull attacked Alessandra.
Magical lightning struck Alessandra, and it seemed to originate from the skull, yes.
Can I investigate the skull, actually?
In that case, do an arcana, please.
Can I guide him to open it?
You can. Scariest door. The effect was definitely magical. You can't tell exactly what it was. Maybe you haven't seen it used before, but you can tell that that magic is gone now.
Okay. Right. I will spend my action to create remove a lock of my hair, just tie it up into a nice little bow, and then I'm gonna make them my EV token. and I'm going to throw that under the door.
I will allow that.
Nice. I was hoping someone could remote view.
And then I'm going to trance to see what's on the other side of the door.
You will see. So it's on floor level, isn't it? So.
Yep.
Again, you would see two desks. Well, a desk and a table, a couple of chairs, a rug. And in the far corner,
yep,
a skeletal creature. Yeah, would you know what it is? Yeah, let's just so you can see it. You would see what looks like a cat, but then it looks weird, like the bare bones of one.
Symmetry.
Can I see if the door can be unlocked from the inside?
Looking up from that lock of hair, there isn't a key in the lock on the other side. There isn't a bar across the door or anything like that.
Okay. Is there anything else in the room that might be of interest to me?
There's a lot of papers, a lot of books. From that perspective, you wouldn't be able to see what's on them, so no.
Anyone try to disarm this trap or cancel its magic in some fashion? I'm afraid I can't do that.
Although it was
Wouldn't know.
poor, your inspection of the door, it was obviously magically trapped, but it doesn't seem to have any residual magic effect anymore. It seems to have gone. It seems to be a door.
Oh, well, maybe we can open it now.
Alexander will give it another go.
Thieves' tools, please.
So thieves' tools. Does it actually let me
Step
roll
back.
with actual thieves' tools?
Sleight of hand, I think.
I definitely have thieves' tools, but they're not currently showing up on my inventory. There they are. I just couldn't see them because I was an idiot.
Or not an idiot. You've
I am on Sunday evening.
only just tried to open a door that sent you backwards.
21.
Yeah, that door, it's a very basic lock that you have dealt with many times before. You know exactly how to deal with it. It opens. Oh, and I should open the door then, shouldn't I?
They really need to get better locksmiths in Barovia. It seems to just be the same guy, and it's getting a bit boring.
It's a small place.
That doesn't mean they can't expand. And then I will step back and say, does anyone want to actually open the door?
I can do it.
Absinthe steps up and then steps away.
After you.
No, I insist.
The
We're
door.
looking for skeletal cat.
Yeah, cowering in the corner is the bones of a cat, but they're still attached and working like a normal cat. It sort of cowers there and gives out a faint.
I'll into a horrifying piece of shit, and he'll like try and lean down and like clap his hands and try and call it over.
Animal handling.
It's a 12.
It doesn't come over, but it doesn't attack you either. It just sort of sits there and observes you all, looking quite meek.
I'm going to shut the door behind me.
Let Graham in first.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a necromancer's lab.
Yes, sorry. So now you can see a lot of scribblings, a lot of parchment, a lot of ideas have been clearly written down and scrunched up and thrown away, but there's no bin here, so the floor is littered with all of these balls of paper. And yeah, where Mick is, you can see a table with some animal bones on.
Is this not a bin then? Is this a pot?
There's a full bin, and I don't look at my maps, okay?
So this is the attic that we could get to from not the master bedroom. So there's a good chance this was the bedroom of the son. And there is a fucking skeletal cat when his ex-fiancée had a cat-based breakdown.
Yes.
Well, it all fits together, doesn't it?
Alexander straight away is searching through the papers, just looking for anything and everything to get an idea of what the fuck is going on.
Is this a chest in the corner here?
Yes, it is.
Mick's gonna give it a bit of a kick, see if anything responds from the inside.
Nothing makes a noise inside the chest.
Just gonna try
Child
walking.
inside is already dead.
Sorry, what did you say, Mick?
Can she open it?
Yeah. What would you find in there? Roll me an Arcana check.
Is this kind of, am I reacting to what's happening, or do I have time to prepare for the
No,
check?
you have time to prepare for the check. It's just you open it and it's an assortment of odd things.
Okay, guidance or something. 15.
You would recognize this as an assortment of spell components. Random little things like a vial of blood, what else do you have as spell components? Some copper wire, some what looks like dust in a jar, iron filings, really random shit, but stuff that you know you would use in spells.
Anything that looks valuable beyond the main components of an average pouch.
You know what? Probably, but I haven't thought of it, so I'm making a note and you can have it next time.
Alright.
What about these papers on the desk here?
To you, they look like some strange language. You can't read them at all.
What's with the creepy mannequins in the corner?
Oh, yeah, that's a weird touch. They have some. They're like child-sized mannequins with clothes on them, but they turned away to face the corner.
I'm gonna have nightmares about that.
It'd be worse if they're facing towards us, surely.
No, because I don't know whether they've got faces. I don't know whether they've not. Like it leaves it up to my imagination, and that's
It's
far,
very
far worse.
Blair Witchy.
Want me to turn them round?
No, because at the moment I don't think Alexander's paying attention to it. This is just a Hazel thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't like mannequins, and children scare me anyway. So children mannequins, terrifying.
Double terror.
And then can I check the desk over here, please?
able to read things. Do you have any spells? Or are you purely melee?
What? Alexander, I have no spells. I've got no magic. Every now and then I've got a voice in my dreams, and that's about it.
It looks like a lot of symbols.
So it's not Thieves' Cant, Common, Elvish, Sylvan, or Celestial.
Nope.
Can I check the actual desk for, again, any hidden compartments or anything that seems to be trying to be hidden?
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll. There's nothing hidden. This is already hidden away enough.
Just
It
to
could have
check,
been
it's
hidden.
not Infernal, Abyssal, or Gnomish, is it?
Nope.
I know the Gnomish one's a bit of a weird one for me to speak, but that's all backstory stuff.
You free? Are you any of you able to read this?
No.
Oh, I
Dawson.
know Abyssal, Dwarvish, and Infernal.
Dawson will have a look, but he only knows Elvish.
No, Milton, Darzin, and Mick would be able to read them. They are spells. Well, someone trying to create spells, magical runes and glyphs. But it looks like math work. Like he's crossed things out and drawn them again. You'll have seen them in spell books, which you don't use, but you can at least understand that he's been trying to make a spell.
Do any of you know what they might be for?
More importantly, are they dangerous?
Well, I don't understand what they are for or what he was trying to do, but one look around this room. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but it doesn't look good.
Should we burn them then?
Well, we definitely can't leave them here. They could end up in anyone's hands.
I should. Are they evidence?
Evidence of what? Is magic illegal here?
But we don't. If we can find out more, then it might lead us somewhere. It might explain some of what's going on here. And Gem. I made it sound like I said Gem instead of GM.
Thought you said Jim.
I thought you said
yeah,
Jim
no,
as
I
well.
just, sorry, my pronunciation is absolutely shocking. The Burgomaster's son, whose name I still cannot remember. Do we know where the hell he is?
No.
So were we supposed to meet him at some point? There would have been when we were supposed to go for lunch, but other than that, I don't think we've actually crossed paths. Or did we meet them once?
You haven't crossed paths.
I don't think we've met him ever.
But
He
was
wasn't
it?
at the breakfast you were at, and he might have been at that lunch, but you don't know.
So we don't know whether he's.
Oh, Irina definitely said she met him and he was boring.
Yeah.
Disinterested.
Okay.
Like they didn't talk very much.
So he's been around, but he wasn't in the house when the Burgomasters were taken, because otherwise he probably would have been as well. And we've not seen anyone fitting his description or general status. So he's just off and about doing whatever the fuck he wants. Is that the general gist of... We're going to have to find him.
I spent some time looking through all of like the stuff that he's written up and everything. Would Darzin be able to try and figure out what kind of spells the guy was trying to make, even though he doesn't use like standard spells? He just uses weird, stupid music spells.
Yes. Roll me an Arcana. You never know.
My
You're
arcana is
you're an
complete
old
shit,
guy.
so
You've seen shit.
it's a 10.
No.
Oh, none of
And
this means anything to me. I summon magic through strumming on a lute, blowing on a flute, and throwing tarot cards at people. So,
well, I'm not sure any of this actually really matters. All that matters is he's obviously up to something. He's hiding this away behind a trapped skull door. His ex-fiance has had a breakdown that has turned her into a cat, and he's got a skeletal cat hiding out in this room as well. Sorry, but it doesn't. Well, what does make sense is absolutely terrifying. I don't trust him. I don't like him. As much as I don't like Lady Vocta, her daughter does seem to be very much deserving of justice.
it's all pretty Barovian, though.
Well, I'm not pretty Barovian. I don't care what is acceptable here and what is standard.
Oh, I'm not saying it's acceptable. It's just very typical.
It's very, you
What
open a
do you
door in
think?
Barovia and, oh, a hidden secret life, and it's creepy. Oh, what a surprise.
Oh, look, hags making pies out of babies.
That makes it no less pressing.
Who initially looked at the papers?
Alessandra.
At the desk over here would be me. The desk in the middle, I think, was absence.
Yeah.
But neither of you could read it. Did I make you do any sort of check?
No.
No.
Both do one because there's something I forgot.
What kind of check?
Perception or investigation, whichever's your preference.
Nine. Alexander's too het up.
13. Unlucky for some.
Yeah, I mean, you still don't understand the majority of what it says. Every now and again, there is going to be a scribble in common, like a note saying this doesn't work or need to try again. But one thing Absence would notice is that there are 2 sets of handwriting. It's not all written by one person.
Seems they have an accomplice.
A family
And we
business,
also
maybe.
need to find them.
I'll be honest with you, I've been away for a while. I'm not even sure whose house this is. I didn't really want to say anything, but whose house is this?
Oh, it's the now deceased Burgomaster's house.
Oh,
He
and
was.
whose room is this?
We believe that this is the room of his son. Now, the Burgomaster has been making the people of the town celebrate life, existence, somewhat against their will. And then the son, Victor, thank you, so there's another family within the town, the Vocters. We have met Lady Vocta. There's been a lot going on, Absence to tell you the truth, but her daughter was engaged to Victor, and when we met her, there's no better way to say this than she was acting as a cat. She had suffered some kind of break, and I've met some odd people in my time, but nothing quite to that extent.
As you're saying this, Milton's mouth opens and he looks towards the skeletal cat in the corner.
And
What? You
I fear that the Stella that we met was maybe only partially her.
what are you
And then I'll look at the cat.
suggesting, Milton? That
Mil-
Stella's
Milton-
in that?
Scooches down to his haunches and just puts a hand out and just calls Stella towards the cat.
Animal handling. It looks around and takes a moment. It's clearly very jumpy, but it will pad over to you and then just sort of sit down in front of you and wait.
Is that you, Stella?
Can Alexander take out one of the, off the desk, grab some scrap paper and a quill and write yes on one bit of paper and no on the other and lay it down near the cat in the hopes that the cat can read?
Absence will just get the feather and wave it in front of the cat and see if the cat reacts to that.
The cat
Like
just
a
sits.
cat.
It sits there. It doesn't try to bat it. It just looks around at all of you.
Hey, well, I never met a cat that would ignore a feather or a piece of string or...
Never met a cat that has been trapped in a room and doesn't attempt to escape at its first chance. And I'll lay down the notepaper and I'll sit cross-legged nearby, not too close, but just try and not be so tall.
Are you suggesting that Stella was acting like a cat, but this cat's not acting like a cat?
Yes. 1 second. Is
That
Alexander even smart
sounds
enough to be?
insane.
Yeah, he's not too dumb.
Dawson just kind of like shakes his head and he's like, this seems like a bit of a stretch. And then he's just going to go and plonk down on a stool and just kind of like watch how all of this plays out, because he thinks it's a bit daft, but he's interested.
Sounds crazy. I didn't meet this woman, but you think that some or all of Stella is in this thing and he's been working to reverse it, or?
I do not think he intended to reverse it. That is very much not the feeling I get from all of this. Would you agree, Milton?
My feeling, yes.
Maybe he was working with her and whatever they were doing went wrong.
Maybe. And if that is the case, then Milton looks back at the cat. We only wish to help if you can understand us. Can you find a way of letting us know?
Alexander, with the 2 bits of paper, go. Stella, I am sorry to be speaking to you in such an impolite manner, but if you are Stella Boxer, would you please move towards the yes? And if you are not, then towards the no. And then I'll turn to the rest of the night. If she's at all purposeful in selecting an answer, even if she's not Stella, that will tell us something. And then I'll wait.
It's a skeleton. It will look at both sets of paper and look at you, Alessander, and sort of cock its head to one side.
Lick its ass.
Skeletal hasn't got one anymore.
Bony, dry ass.
Licks its pelvis.
It makes no move to move.
No.
Maybe
Anyone
she
speak
can't. She can't read.
telepathically, or
Maybe I've just been made too paranoid by this place, but
I mean, I'm struggling to believe that this is a woman.
even if it isn't, I don't trust this.
no, I agree, Alessander, and for that reason alone, I think it's important that we don't destroy what's here, because if there's something to undo here, this is all we have. And even if it's beyond us, it might help somebody else.
This is well beyond my experience. I can't help with this. I'm not even sure I believe it's true. I mean, the cat's not aggressive.
In cat years, Hazel, or
Uh, 17, probably.
Look, I have a younger sister who is not much older than Stella, and to see her in that state, to see anyone in that state is just, it is more than I can stand to bear, and we have to do something, even if it is just giving these papers to someone who might be able to understand them better and maybe reverse whatever has happened, if something has even happened at all.
We don't know any wizards, though. I've never even heard anyone talk about a wizard while we've been here.
No, but Lady Vocta has power, and for all I don't trust her, she does seem to care deeply for her daughter. So maybe she would be able to help.
Okay.
If we were able to help her daughter, she would be a strong ally. One I might not trust, but
would
I
suddenly
now
win
need all
some
this help
favour
we
with
can
her.
get. Sorry, Milton?
Yeah, yes, I agree with you. It would certainly win some favour.
I'll start collecting our papers.
Easily done. Anything else you want to do in this room?
We leave the cat here.
I don't know. I don't really understand magic. Does the cat need food?
If it's a skeleton, probably not.
I think it's well past food.
Okay. I mean, if we leave it here, then it might be safe, but if it's discovered, it would also be greatly harmed.
Well, there was protection on the door, wasn't there?
Yes, but we seem to have interrupted that.
We do.
But you could at least lock the door behind us, if nothing else, I suppose.
Well, what if someone else comes and takes the thing? Let's face it, the sign didn't stop us.
But we're cool and diligent adventurers.
Well, let's cover the door up with boxes and completely make it non-visible. You'd have to know about it then to want to come here.
Yes, we might need to move more stuff around in the larger room just so it isn't so obvious that it's this particular section that has been moved, but it could be done.
Why would we, if you think this is Lady Voctor's daughter, then why would we not just take it straight to her?
In case it isn't.
So what if it isn't?
I don't know.
I mean, I think the secret is in these papers. But I can't read them.
Remind me where Lady Voctor's daughter was. Was it the Voctor house?
Yeah.
Right.
Upstairs. Second bedroom to the... up the stairs and round. Not the linen closet.
Well, I mean, do we take the cat? If we leave the cat, that we have something held back for bargaining, maybe? If we present everything to her, papers, cat, everything, we hold nothing. If that's important to us, I don't know.
I am worried about what power could be in these papers that I might not trust her with.
Can Milton spend, well, however long he would need to try and make a mental note to recognise the two different types of handwriting in the papers, so that he could spot them if he saw them elsewhere?
That seems quite difficult.
Did Alexander take out a bit of plain paper and actually try and trace some of the two examples of writing?
I would say if you did that to support the memory,
Makes more sense.
Would be fine.
I think it would be useful to know, with some certainty, or more certainty at least, who wrote these notes, who was working on this. Victor, still at large, potentially. If we can find him, speak to him. Maybe check his handwriting. And Lady Voctor. This would allow us to perhaps find out who was working on this, without directly asking them and alerting them that we are investigating.
I will follow your lead on this, Milton.
Oh no.
Feel like you are coming to an end in this room. If there is nothing else you want to do, where would you like to go next?
Well, we should gather all of these papers as evidence.
Yeah, Alexander's done that.
Yeah.
Shall
So
we
he's
go
now
back?
carrying his free books and all this stuff now.
You have
we
a
need,
rucksack. Oh wait, you don't have a rucksack.
we
'cause all
need to
you
get to a
have-
bag.
Milton starts to walk through the door and trips over a sideways table. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Just be careful coming through the door.
Do you want to go back down to the first floor of the Burgomasters or somewhere else? Oh, what are you doing, the cat? What are you doing with the door?
Alessandra will spend some time, if this is what we're in agreement on, closing and locking the door and then moving stuff around strategically within the room to hide it. While the
Oh.
others finish up searching the house, because was there still any rooms left to search upstairs?
I think everyone had been in all of them, and you can successfully do that. And like we said, you've done that lock several times now.
Is it just the map, or are these two chests here worth opening up and having a look in? One down here and one up here that I can see. Maybe there's more, I don't know.
It's just linen. It's nothing exciting.
Oh, I got my bloody hopes up then and everything.
Hoping to find the secret of destroying Strahd in a random chest in someone's forgotten attic.
Well, you never know.
I mean, I don't remember. Do you have bedding? You can you could put something together here.
Was anyone in the Burgomaster's household the same kind of size, stature as Alessander?
Yeah.
On the way out, he's gonna grab a couple fresh pairs of trousers and shirts because
You take Victor's clothes.
Okay, now if it's Victor, that creeps me out a bit too much. No, I'm still gonna like a pair of plain trousers, nothing that is identifiably his. Like if he had a coat that he always wore.
It's not got
No.
a very exciting wardrobe. It's a lot of black trousers and white shirts.
That's fine. I just want clean clothes that aren't muddy, bloody, and torn.
You can find a change of clothes.
Thank you. Are they classed as fine?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. I have appearances to keep up.
In between the pissing yourself in fear and falling out of windows.
He is so soiled and so musty, and he just smells of smoke constantly. He still can't get the smell out of his hair.
There's a
So
tub.
much soot,
There's
he
a
feels walk
bathroom.
away
You can
then.
have a bath.
Well, he's cleaned up a couple times, but he wants to be able to have like a proper bath at some point and then put on fresh clothes.
You could get a new pair of shoes, socks, the whole shebang. It now becomes very clear how grimy the rest of you look.
He won't wear them. He'll find a bag and kind of add stuff to that so that he can bathe first.
Yeah, for the sake of, you could find a rucksack somewhere in this whole house.
Yeah.
Shall we go and root around in the ground floor a little more?
I think we're just wasting our time here.
Good enough.
Please don't let me stop you.
Where do you think we should be spending time absence?
Well, as I say, I've been away, so I don't know what's gone on here, but it doesn't feel like this is going to help us escape.
And as we are walking through the house, Alexander will try and start to fill in absence on the key events, not the full shebang, but vampires in the storage shed, Lady Boxer, bones missing from the church, Graham. Key moments.
Where to, guys?
Going ground floor and then out and wander, or ground floor and search?
Oh, before you were, just as a recap, before you headed off this way, the Martikovs, well, the cousins, Dagmara and...
Oh, their dad, their vineyard.
Yeah, is... they...
We got extra two lots of music playing. One's like really dramatic and one's like really.
Oh yeah, where's that playing?
I've just got one. I think.
I thought it was about to kick off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shit.
Oh, it's still set to if the music that would play if you would come here during the whole feast thing. Yeah, their vineyard is overrun by twig blights, and you said you might help, but they were looking after the pub whilst the other Martikovs got some sleep, so you went off and did this. So you do have a potential thing to do.
Well, I suppose that could give us some breathing space, some time to think. It could be useful. We can pay back a debt. And they've been very kind to us.
You can always head to Kresk whilst you're nearby. See if that's any safer for that friend of yours.
What in the world is Kresk?
It's the walled city just a little to the west. What a town, not the city.
That can get us out of this place. There's a road out of Barovia, or Vallaki, or wherever we are now.
You don't want to try and take the roads out of Barovia.
Well, let's be frank, we haven't tried yet. Why haven't we tried?
As far as we've been told, it is not possible.
Well, why have we not tested it? We've just assumed. When have you ever visited anywhere where you can't leave?
You know, that sounds very strange now that you say it out loud.
Exactly.
I mean,
Well,
this is classic manipulation. They make you think you can't leave, and then you just never try to.
Exactly.
Hello, I've been here for 300 years. Do you think I haven't tried to leave?
To be honest, Daz,
We
in
have,
300
so-
years and you still only speak one language, I don't think you have tried.
Also, I think you're having too much fun, with all the... And she'll just like put a finger through her, like a circle with the other hand.
Yeah, why would you want to leave? We
Yes.
want to leave.
Do you want
So-
to leave?
Yes, I wanted to leave for fucking years.
Doesn't have you physically tried the whole walk into the mists?
Yes, he would have.
Then
And what happens?
you can tell them that it felt like you were choking, and you were turned back around, and it took you several days to get over how exhausted you felt by it all.
I didn't ask about the sex that happened with Strahd. I asked about when he tried to take out the mist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
Oh.
fit way too well. The way
It was very good.
I couldn't miss.
What were you insight checking? Again.
Just how truthful Darson's being, because I don't trust him.
Whether I'm a pervert.
Every time
Yeah.
Oh,
Darcy
no,
speaks.
we know that. I don't need to insight check that.
Yeah, I mean, you got Nate, but he's still very much like very honest that he has attempted to leave before.
Okay.
Like, what did we say we were going to do?
We can go help the. Was it the Martinovs? The Martikovs?
Vallakovich.
Martikovs.
Who are they?
With what?
The
Tavern owners.
the tavern owners are Danica and Thingy Martikov.
Yes.
That's my favourite Martikov.
And you helped save them in the battle the previous evening. The people you were going to help were Dagmara and Fyodor Martikov, who is Thingy's
That's
cousin.
from how?
So they're related. They're also Martikovs. They helped you get from the windmill to Vallaki,
Did.
and they missed the battle because they were going to investigate their vineyard, which is like their family home. They produce all of the wine in Barovia and have returned asking for your help because their family have been essentially locked out of their own house by a load of twig blights that have overrun the vineyard.
Darzin is still very salty that the Martikovs thanked Milton for saving them and then said nothing to Darzin.
They knew you'd been up to shit. They saw you writing a note midway running over to them.
As
They
they were bleeding out, they saw you run towards them, stop to write a note, and then decide to carry on running towards them.
And then fight a vampire spawn on his own.
Don't worry about that point.
Perhaps they'd passed out from blood loss by then and didn't see it.
Bard, you should write the story of what happens. You painted very badly, even though you didn't do too much bad. Just one
He
note.
wrote a love letter in the middle of it.
It wasn't so much a love letter and more as like a plea deal. But where are you planning to go now? Are you going to walk around town more? Oh. Are you planning on heading up to Kresk or the winery?
I would say we return to the inn, we meet up with Martikovs and we help them.
Go and take a look.
We've not been in this town for a while.
I mean, it's good to help people, but we have to ask ourselves, what are we getting out of this? Is it getting us closer to getting home?
Allies. We spoke about this a lot last time, and it's the normal folk in places like this that make a difference. We've already seen
Now
what
I
those
feel it's
normal
more a
folk.
question of my soul.
Those normal folk got us away from that windmill when all was lost.
We did.
Chance to repay your debts keeps people wanting to do good things.
Or is it those people?
Hmm.
Then I agree. They deserve our help.
To the vineyard.
I have no idea what's going on.
Nor me.
I've filled in some of the blanks. At least I've tried to. Multicops. Do the multicops.
Side quest. There are no side quests in this game. Everything leads to something.
Only slight diversions.
It's all interlinked. I've spent the past couple of weeks trying to work it out.
Well, the diversion still gets you to where you're going. It just takes you around the Reekin a bit.
As we're all heading back to the Blue Water Inn, Darson's going to take a minute to go to the little stockade area, just to spend a few seconds with Isaac's awkward remains that are there now that he recognises him. And I don't know, just be kind of like a bit mopey. That the only person who'd been like genuinely a long-term friend is now straight up dead after kind of like painting that picture of we were friends, but I don't know why.
If you hang around long enough, a villager will probably come up to you and stand there with you. What the bastard. And he'll spit on his ex-corpse. Okay?
Oh, I've got so many options and I don't know what to do. I think Darson for a second is just gonna let it go. And then once that guy walks off, he'll like get the edge of his coat and just like wipe the spit off.
Wow. Okay.
The other options were elbow him in the face, vicious mockery, just like bam.
Not a thing.
Or to just be like, oh, you know, like same name, so maybe don't push buttons right now.
Yeah, you'd have started a thing. Yeah, he'll eventually, when you're not talking back to him, he just wanted a good gossip session. Walk away, spit on the Baron's corpse as well.
Don't give a shit about that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Darson probably will too. Didn't like him at all.
Is there a notice board in the town square?
Yes.
Can I look at it and drag Milton along to check for any writing that is similar to that of the notes that we found?
Oh, what a clever idea. Roll investigation.
Go for it,
If
I'll
I'm
help.
forcing Milton to help me, do I get help? I am so shit.
We are so shit. Because I rolled one of them.
Keeps... What did you get? It keeps not throwing me out the game. Yeah, there's not really any notices of note. There's a couple of have you seen, and then a name. No one's taken the time to draw or anything. Something that you saw last time was a list of the names of the dead. But
Victor's not on that list, is he?
no, he isn't on that list. He's not on the list of the dead, and no one is looking for him.
I have a name I would like to know if is on the list. Is Rictavio on there?
No.
Mhm.
No, you have not seen that elf since.
What was Rictavio staying in the inn?
Was.
Or
Yeah, no.
no?
He had his own room.
Okay. The inn?
So what?
Should we go to the inn?
I'll take you back.
You moved us over for a 5-second poke around.
Yeah, so
Here is the town square, just to mix it up. Here is the inn. I should probably move those bodies. People are probably by this point in the morning in the process of loading the bodies onto carts, and they're going
collecting their dead.
between the church and the town square at this point.
Should have made a joke about in, out when we were going in between the in and out. Do apologise. We didn't really shake it all about.
Asshole.
Right, next time I go into this game, I'm giving Matt GM control so that he can move things around because I just keep getting thrown out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Like how someone's put Graham on a chair.
One, he's in crow form, so he's pretty much just a dodgy version of Crowford. So people don't question him.
Yeah.
Not as cool as Crowford though. Crowford can dance.
Hey, this one can go invisible and can turn into an imp and
Who
a
cares?
rat and something else.
The crow says, I can dance.
Very good, Graham. Very good.
Where did you get that from?
I did in a carpet.
Yeah. Just in a carpet. We called him out of midair. We just probably easier not to ask about him too much.
You called him out of midair like 3 fucking times.
We're just meant to be together.
That or you're very clingy.
He'll look at you. Oh, I think
got kicked out.
Oh,
me
that
out
might have
now.
been because I just made Matt an assistant GM.
Oh,
I-
yeah, it will be.
Alexander will look across at Darson and then we'll shuffle closer to Absinthe. Absinthe?
Absinthe.
Oh,
Absinthe.
now.
Name.
Yeah, he's
This
the
is really good.
brother.
Can't words.
Drinking name.
It's
Huh.
brother abstinence because of absinthe.
I only drink absinthe.
Three very different personalities.
I'm not in the game still, but at some point the Danica and Thingy, I really need to find his name, will come down and say a quick hello, have a chat with the Dagmara and Theodore behind the bar, and those two will come over and say, seems that we can go if you are ready. Is there anything else you needed to do in town?
What happened to Irina?
In the church.
He's in the church.
Is she safe there?
Yes. We went to check on her.
Okay.
She was helping at the orphanage off and on.
Okay.
Owen! Sorry.
Before we leave, perhaps we could check the notice board in the village square. I'm only joking. Please, let's go.
I have a quick thing I would like to do just before we head off. But it will take me all of, I don't know, a second. So Darson's going to he'll like walk off to his room for just like the tiniest bit of privacy because he's going to feel a bit weird doing it in public for the first time. But then he's going to cast Sending to Rictavio because he'd feel, despite all the shit he gets up to, he would feel a bit of a twat stood in the middle of a crowd talking to himself. as he's trying to send a message. And he's going to send a message to Rictavia. It's like, it's Darzin. We haven't seen your name on the casualty list after the vampires. I just wanted to make sure you're alive still.
A moment passes. Thanks for your concern. I'm fine. Town seemed a dangerous place to stay. Might see you on the road.
The fact that you were counting makes me think that he's familiar with sending, which is interesting.
This
But-
is just my favorite game to play in D&D.
Yeah, okay.
I think I made dangerous 2 words. I don't know.
Yeah, he'll come back. And he was like, I used a new magic trick I've learnt to talk to Rictavio. He's fine. He's traveling out on the road. We might see him as we head to the winery. Who knows?
Cool. Then if you are happy to head off, it's about just before midday when you head out on the road. Like I said, you'll be passing carts full of bodies. You'll pass the church on your way out as you'll be leaving via the west gate. And yeah, you head down the Svalek Road, led by Dagmara and Fyodor. They will tell you that it will take just over a day, so you will probably have to camp at some point. How are you proceeding? Is anyone keeping a lookout? Is there anything anyone wants to talk about on the way?
I'd definitely like to keep a lookout.
Same here.
Dawson's gonna jam his loot.
What kind of tune you playing?
He's going to try and conceal, don't feel. So he's going to play something a bit jolly, and try and pretend that he's not upset to have learned about Isaac at this point.
I was fully expecting blues.
Performance.
So 24.
Oh, it's really fucking catchy. If you weren't walking, you'd be tapping your feet. You find yourself like doing this.
Do, 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 do,
Walking
do.
like a rooster.
So
Everyone's
yeah,
walking in step to the beat.
Yeah.
you make your way west. The landscape becoming a bit more dense. The forest either side of the road almost feels like you're being swallowed up by the land. Eventually, you will come to a set of crossroads, a bridge. After a couple of hours, I can't remember what I made it. I think it was 3 miles every 2 hours, and you could travel. Yeah, so you could travel 3 by. I can't math. What's 3 by 8?
24.
16, 24. You can travel 24 miles in a day, I think.
Sounds about right. I've done that in a day in real life, so
Um,
Eunice.
Me
a
too.
long
By
time
car.
ago. Yeah.
yeah, you come to a crossroads, a river crossing, where the Martikovs will tell you it's the Luna River. It runs out of Lake Zarevich, that place where you saved Mirabelle from the town drunk Bluto and the giant fish. And like the previous bridge you crossed, It's an old arch stone bridge, weather-beaten gargoyles perching on the corners, and on the other side of the bridge, the road branches northwest, southwest, and south, and there is a fallen signpost in the weeds nearby.
What did it say?
The signpost reads, although it's fallen, so you don't know which ways they were pointing, but the the 4 branches say Lake Baratok, Kretsk, Berez, and Vallaki. The Martikovs will tell you that you need to head what direction is this? Southwest?
What are we here to do?
I think they've got some black fly or something on these grapes.
Have
Have
you
you
ever...
seen the sun since we're here?
No.
We do not have
Ah.
sun in Barovia.
So how do you grow grapes at all? They must be pretty pathetic sour things. Maybe you'd be better to make rhubarb wine or...
The twins will look at each other and then look at you. It is difficult, but you've tried our wine. It's the wine you had in the tavern. It wasn't bitter. It was very nice.
It's good all considering, yes.
I've been drinking that wine for a long fucking time.
Yes, we are the only winery in Barovia, so it is that or nothing. And if we cannot help them, well, I can't imagine this valley entirely sober would do well for very long.
No.
So I appreciate you may want to focus your efforts on leaving, but we also appreciate you helping us in this endeavor. It helps everyone in its way. And it is not black fly, it is... have you ever seen twig blights?
No.
I don't think so.
They are animated plant life. They are irritating little things, but there are a hell of a lot of them.
Okay. And how do we deal with these things?
I would say fire, but that would incinerate the vineyard. We're not too sure. My family, we are mostly winemakers. We are not fighters. If you can give us any insight, let's take a look. Hopefully we can come up with a plan that keeps the vineyard safe, but eliminates the pest.
Well, we'll take a look, of course.
For that first 2 hours of travel, can someone roll me a d20, please?
I got it.
Oh,
Okay, then.
There he is, 10. It is an uneventful first couple of hours. We'll travel a bit further on, so wait, over there. The valley seems to slope downwards ever so slightly, so the trees growing seemingly taller around you. Can I have another d20 for the next 2 hours of travel?
The 6.
Some point.
Do music again.
Let's go with not that, because we've been listening to that non-stop. Thank you. At some point, you're 4 hours in, you'll take a load off, probably wander into the woods to relieve yourselves, have a bite of some rations. You will notice about 60 feet away, stood by a brook, a young man, whoever is keeping lookout. They don't seem to have noticed you.
Do we recognise them at all?
Do me a perception.
Ooh.
24.
This is a lot from the back of the head. They are a young, pale man with jet black hair. You don't recognize their features from what you can see, but you recognize with that excellent roll that they are in very fine clothing, although it looks a little battered.
We accidentally just bumped into fucking Victor Vallakovich on the road.
What colour hair did the Burgomaster and his wife have?
Wait a minute, you've rolled a 24. Do you know what else you see? You see a
No.
fucking skeletal cat at his side. I'm gonna bring
What
you.
the fuck?
Let me set the map up, because I've got all of these random encounters and I didn't know which one you'd fall on, so I haven't set them all up, but I've got the map. Just bear with me a moment. Talk between yourselves if you like.
Jim says you're welcome for rounding off this strange little hook that we've discovered so quickly.
Excellent roll, yeah.
There was a very evident, when I went 6, there was a very evident like, oh. So I was like, oh.
I'm glad you rolled a 6. I like that encounter.
That means it's nasty.
It's a river map, but it's more of a babbling brook because you have passed the river at this point.
I haven't noticed him.
We kind of trying to signal people over, but keeping them quiet.
I would like to point out, Darzan has been playing his lute this whole journey.
Alexander hates you even more for that, because we need to keep stealthy in these woods.
Every time I make you do these checks, I assume this is someone stopping because they've got a stone in their shoe, or someone is going for a wee. You know,
Darzin snapped a string on his lute. G-string.
I was going to say banjo string.
Oh, that's even
Ooh.
worse.
He doesn't have a banjo yet, so. He's safe from those incidents for the time being.
Milton will need a re-import at some point as well.
Oh, okay.
I think the importer might need updating.
Important needs updating every like fucking day.
Well, that's because, yeah, I think D&D Beyond keep trying to stop it from working.
How rude.
I know. And they're constantly updating and coming up with new features. I'm sure that's also a contributor.
Thank you.
Oh, that might meet that.
Who else is here? Mick. Does. Oh, heck. Milton's gained the things.
Stuff.
Yeah, here is your young male friend, unidentified, sort of. What would you like to do?
But if I don't go and talk to him, has he met me since?
None of you have met.
But the cat might recognise us if the cat is his familiar. I understand familiars. I've spent some time around Mick. That'll do, right, Bionic?
That is a horrifying token for the cat.
It's really hard to find skeleton cat images.
Oh,
A live cat.
with the train here, would it be possible for Alexander to sneak up on him?
We're saying it's not a very good map because, again, spent a lot of time on the encounters and not the map.
So that
You're on
he's
the
fully
road,
grounded.
and he's sort of there, sat crouched by the river, cupping his hands to take a drink of water. You're far enough away at this point for him to not have noticed you, but if you move any further in, I will start making checks. So you are more than welcome to try. There is, as you can see, around, so you can take a long way round.
And try and sneak up on him if you want.
I would prefer we don't end up in a fight. I would like for us to be able to question him.
What are you suggesting?
But
I'll start a fight.
no, I'm saying that we should just be careful so that we don't start a fight. As in all of us absence.
Okay.
I would like to sneak within 30 feet of this little shit biscuit.
Making of the stealth check, please.
Then where are you going?
We're having a discussion, Dazim. Why are you sodding off again?
Because I want to do something before you people cause a shit stir. Nope.
Alexander's really gonna hate you, Darzin, so much.
That's a really fucking high. Everybody already hates Dyson, let's be honest.
It's a cat.
Hate's a very
How
strong
far-
word, but
Yeah, as you move forward, the boy won't notice, but the cat will suddenly go, and Victor will look around. We knew. And start to run. I guess that puts us in initiative, really.
Does Absence still have the thing that Milton gave him?
Yes.
yes.
Why is he coming up as mage? Call him Victor.
Ah, the old. I'm going to do something before everybody else fucks it up.
I wanted to get
Yeah, and
within.
I'm going to fuck it up trying to do that. Right, I get to roll twice.
No, it's not my fault that cat had so fucking high on his
It's a
perception.
cat!
It is your fault that you didn't decide to stay and discuss it with everybody.
Even Alexander hadn't run up. I'm like, could I sneak? Let's think about it.
And Alessandra and I have probably got much better stealth as well.
Got a +5,
We
thank
got-
you very much.
+7.
Bring a load of instruments.
Fuck you then. I wanted to get within 30 feet and then use detect thoughts.
Ooh, I just realized I have control of absence. Could this be why Matt's having trouble?
I'm not having any trouble now.
Okay,
It's all good
maybe
now.
I can
can't
remove that.
get
you can move that, yeah, because my
initiative for some reason.
Oh, do you want me to move Dawson forward, seeing as he started doing a bit of sneaking?
You can take that 30 feet if you want, yes. But it's alerted.
Oh, there I am.
There you are, yeah.
There's no I in team.
Is that everyone? There's so many NPCs. Do you want Graham to be in initiative?
Is he a
No,
familiar?
just in case.
Oh,
And then we
God.
can always just skip past him.
Okay.
If it means there's a chance he could die, then yeah, he should be in initiative.
How quick did Darzin move?
I want to do that. I want to piss off.
Absence. What would you like to do?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I will move 40 feet, which is my standard movement. If it'll stop jumping around. And I haven't played a monk for a very long time. I apologise. Don't have. Do I? I don't have the old Step of the Wind yet, do I? That's like level 5, I think. Oh, we are level 5.
We are level 5.
No, I don't think it's on my character sheet, so I'm guessing I don't have it. But I will.
Have you imported since we leveled up?
Yeah, he shows us level 5. What level Step of the Wind then?
What do you mean by step of the wind? What's that?
It's like you spend a key point, you can basically dash, disengage, etc.
That's level 2.
So why is it not on my? Step of the Wind.
Found it?
I have found it, so I am going to. I'm going to spend a key point to do Step of the Wind. And I'm going to run around him and in front of him. Sorry, he's jumping around for me. And basically tell him to stop. And for my action, I'm going to do a shove attack.
Roll your shove attack. I will roll for him to see if he's scared of you.
Yeah, so there's this tiefling with burning red eyes.
He is not scared of no bitch.
Good for him. Good for him. I don't remember how shove works. I'm really sorry. I'm holding it up now.
It's contested athletics, acrobatics.
Appreciated.
I have to know this because fucking Herd gets a bonus action shove with shield.
Well, I think for me, unfortunately, it's strength. Did he just roll a crit? Oh no. Because I think it's acrobatics to get out of it, but I think it's still strength to make it. So I'm not very strong.
I think it's athletics to make it.
Which is strength, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's the same for me.
What
Again,
happens
so-
with a shove?
He's either knocked prone or pushed back 5 feet.
What are you going for?
I'm knocking him prone.
He is prone because he's a tall weedy boy.
Yeah, he's even more weedy than me. And I will just say, stay there, we want to talk.
Okay. Are you going to hurt me?
Not if you stay there.
Forgot my accent.
Sorry, I've been throwing Darson's accent out the window for half the session.
Then he will just go. Okay. Milton?
Just a dash to get up nearby. That's me done.
Is anyone doing anything other than getting to him?
I'll be movement and then bonus action dash to get to him. Because my cunning action or whatever it is. And then I would like to search him, like empty his pockets and that. I'm not doing it neatly. I just want to make sure that any spell components are out of his reach.
If no one is attacking, then we will come out of initiative. I'll leave the order up just in case. But yeah, he will let you search him. You'll find again, things like you found in there, a little bag of moss, a vial of some liquid that you don't know what it is, loads of random shit on his person. And he's not stood by, but there is a backpack nearby.
Go and grab the backpack.
You are the mistaken. You just arrived in Vallaki. Who sent you?
Who do
No
you
one
think
sent us.
Well, that tells me all I need to know.
Well, to be fair, I don't know who sent us. I've been away for a while.
But you were very much of interest to us.
I'm of interest to a lot of people.
Perhaps we can start with you telling us about your companion there. Quite a unique looking creature and travel companion, wouldn't you say?
This is my cat. This is Twinkle.
Yes, Twinkle looks a bit hungry.
What's the other one
This
called?
was my cat.
What's the other one called?
You've been in my room.
Mm-hmm.
So either you are curious or you have been sent by someone.
For you at this point, it doesn't really matter.
I would like to know if I am going to my death or not.
Well, if we were sent to kill you, do you think we'd be talking to you?
Well, if you were sent by Lady Vokta, I assume she will want some sort of spectacle in the town square whereby I would be executed in front of everybody, so... Yes.
Why would Lady Vokta want such a thing?
She thinks that I turned her daughter mad and she hates my family more than anything.
Why would she think that? What did you do?
You know it doesn't look good right now with these strange cat creatures and the particular affliction affecting Stella. It seems a little more than a coincidence. Help us understand.
Maybe we can help her. And indirectly help you.
I was trying to help her, that is why I'm out here.
Trying to
Okay.
help her in what way?
There is an abbey in Kretsk. I heard it used to be a hospital. Generally, where there are priests, there are people who heal. I know that Lady Vokta has tried seeing Father Lucian about helping Stella, and he wasn't able to help, so I am moving further afield, whilst also avoiding the massacre which occurred and anything which might spill over from that. He has a very sort of confident, loose body language about him. He doesn't
You've
seem
been
too
away.
bothered that you're surrounding him.
If you've been
If he's
away,
still on the floor, I'll help him up.
Ah, thank you. He will dust himself down.
if you've been away all this time, how do you know about a masker?
You've not been away, I was there.
Insight check.
Yeah, sure.
Not the fact he was there, but the going to Kresk purely to try and find help.
Yep, go for it.
My insight is not good. It's a 10.
You have not really got the measure of this person yet. You have only been speaking to him for under a minute.
Then fair.
And like I said, he's got this confidence about him. There's a rhetoric there. He could very easily say anything and it sound believable.
Oh, he's like me, but less slutty.
Well, you don't know. Look, I want to be honest with you, because I do not think you have the whole story, and I do not think you will kill me. But just answer me this, and I have no way to tell whether you are telling the truth or not, but maybe I can tell from your faces. Are you planning to march me back to town, hand me over to Lady Vokta, and take some great reward, or are you genuinely interested?
I personally think if you've committed no crime, enough people have died already.
That's true. Very well. I will gladly cooperate. And then I have 2 questions of my own, if that is okay. What do you want to know?
What did
I'd like-
happen to Stella?
He looks down. He doesn't make eye contact with you as he tells you this. Stella, you know she was meant to be engaged to me.
Yes.
So, of course, we would have to spend time together. It is... It's very obvious what Lady Vokta was trying to achieve, and my father, for whatever reason, I think they thought they could play each other. I do not know. But Stella would spend time with me, and at first I thought this would just have to be the way it was, but she was actually very unlike her mother, very sweet. If you have been in my room, then you know that I am a magic user. I have been trying to make a teleportation circle to get out of Barovia. This is what we all want, no? No one wants to be here. And
It's true.
when I revealed this to Stella, she agreed. And rather than be frightened of what I was capable of, she became very interested. She became very helpful. She had ideas that I had not thought of, a fresh perspective. And she was keen for us to do more testing. I told her it was dangerous and we did not have reliable ways of testing. You understand, we can't just walk in, we do not know what would happen to our bodies. But she is more optimistic than me, shall we say. I found her in my room. I don't know what exactly happened, but it's... We already knew that the circle was not complete, that there was something missing. It must have malfunctioned in some way, and well, she lost her mind. And I'm very
Did
sorry
she
about
though? Did she lose it or did she misplace it?
What do you mean?
Well, what's with the other cat in your room? Why'd you have two?
That is Tiger. That is Stella's cat. Was Stella's cat. The Voctors, they have a lot of cats, but that was her favorite cat, and when she saw what I did with Twinkle, she asked me to do it for her, so I did. When I ran, I just had time to take Twinkle.
Is that cat not very cat-like because it's dead, or because this cat seems quite cat-like even though it's dead?
It behaves very much like the one that you saw. It's very still. And looks up to Victor quite frequently. Occasionally it will just, like a cat, maybe wind around him, but there's no real purpose there. It's just moving.
My friend Milton here is a cleric. Maybe someday, with the right learning, he can help Stella. I get the feeling you would like that. Not just because it would get you off the hook.
Believe me or not, I do want to help Stella for what happened to her. Perhaps this is the best way to go about it. It is a problem born of magic, so I assume magical healing is the only way to rectify it. I don't know about holy magic, seeing as Father Lucian was unable to help, but you have
Well,
received...
I've learned a little about curses in my time here. That sounds like a curse to me. Curses can be removed.
Potentially, the way this land works, it is not impossible, but you are not a magic user, are you? Curses have a purpose. They have intent, and that, to me, I think it is just an unhappy accident. A magical fumble. We were playing around with magics we didn't yet understand fully, have enough information on.
And so you think the next step lies in this abbey?
I am wise enough to admit that I do not know everything about magic, particularly in terms of healing. Father Lucian's help is useless, so I was aiming to seek out another person who had that expertise. I have no idea if they can help. I have never been to Kret. If they cannot help, maybe there are books that can help expand my learning. Maybe I can be the one that help her. I would like to be the one to help her. And Darzin and Alessander, sorry, what were you insight checking? Alessander, you fail, but...
Mine again was, does he genuinely want to go to Kresk to help? Because he brought it up again, so I went, I'm going to insight check it again. And I got the same result, so
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, he
probably.
seems to want to.
Okay.
Mine was just generally about his feelings and views towards Stella, so I believe him completely, even though Hazel doesn't.
For what it's worth, I believe him.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Sorry, we have not been introduced. Well, there is no hiding it. I was going to give you a false name, but I am Victor Vallakovich. For the purposes of going to Kretz, I was going to be, I need to think of a name. I was going to be someone else. But to you, I am Victor.
Milton
An
will step
absence.
forward, extend a hand. I'm Milton.
You will
Milton
take your
Westbrook.
hand.
Pleasure. While I've got his hand, I'm not casting any spells or anything, but I'd just like to, while I'm much closest than I've been before, just try and look at his complexion, temperature of his skin. Is there any similarities between him and the encounters we've had with the vampires or the vampire spawn we've had?
Ooh, medicine?
Okay. Oh, it's so nearly a 20.
He doesn't wear anything around his neck. Apart from a slightly popped collar.
Yeah. Groovy.
He is very pale, very skinny, but that is the Barovian look.
Right.
He doesn't seem to have something noticeable because everyone had blood on them yesterday. He doesn't have blood on him, so that's a good sign, right? He
Yeah,
doesn't
He's
seem
a
sick
magic
in any
user.
way.
It could have prestidigitated it off or whatever.
Okay, that's good enough for Milton. For the time being, it was a very specific check, so he's not really looking for anything else.
He'll offer his hand around to everyone else.
I'll shake it.
Alessander, have you changed yet?
No.
Oh, damn it.
It was too quick. I didn't have time for a proper bath and a change, so I'm not going to be dressed as him yet.
I just wanted a moment of, is that my...
How tall
My
is he?
underpants.
He's about the same height as you.
So
Quite
about
tall.
6 foot.
Yeah.
As I'm just going to try and stand up a little bit straighter. Just back into that kind of noble, regal pissing contest.
He gets what you're doing. Yeah, he'll shake all of your hands and he will say, before we continue this line of questioning, I would just like to ask 2 questions, if I may. Are you aware of the fate of my family? And I assume by asking all of these questions, Stella was not harmed in the attack.
Well, we know nothing of Stella since the attack. we've not been able to check on her, but her name. Thinking back to the list of dead, her name wasn't on the list of dead, was it? The Voctor house wouldn't have been attacked.
No,
Voctor
I think
was-
Lady Voctor would have been very vocal if she'd lost anybody else important.
Yeah.
She would have been in a room. I don't think
Oh,
she
I
would
didn't
have
notice the
been out.
time. Sorry. Bye, Nick.
Oh, shit.
Bye.
So we cannot say as to her well-being. With your parents, unfortunately, your father did not survive the night. The last we were aware of, your mother is not in the best of situations, but she is being cared for by your uncle.
You should know that we did petition for their safety after the battle.
Why? My father is a monster.
Well, regardless, I don't think a big mob is the right way for anyone to go.
You have not been in town long. It feels like the right way for him to have gone.
And not that I suppose you cared, but the bodyguard is Strahd. I always get that confused. He's also died.
Oh, I knew when the creature came. A creature came to our house. Izek was fighting it. No, Izek was losing the fight to it. That is when I thought I need to run.
Victor, well, you're here. What the hell was going on with all those dolls he had?
I can answer that question.
Daniel, because
Oh.
I would be very interested to know. He's a very strange man. I always thought he is quite childlike in his mentality, and so the dolls are a comfort. But why have the same one over and over again?
Because they were the people he had first come to Barovia with a few hundred years ago.
No, my father found him as a boy. 100. But this is very interesting. You are going to have to expand.
But you were one of the dolls, Dazin. So do you remember coming here with him?
I actually do.
As a boy?
I wouldn't. I wasn't a boy, and neither was he. I forgot my accent. I'm very sorry. No. I probably would have been a little under 100 years old by then. He looked very similar to how he did when I met him for the first time.
Without the fiendish red arm.
Without the strange red arm he had. And I distinctly remember him telling me to run when a large creature, it was just mounds of weeds and flesh, dragged him beneath water.
Did you?
Beneath. How much of the death house do we remember?
I think you went in every room, yeah?
Yeah, that sounds
Wait,
familiar. We remember that as like the shambling mound and the chanting and
Yeah,
the.
I'm not going to make you role play. Over talking it through, you would eventually make the connection.
It's been like a week.
Yeah. And so Darson just sees Alexander go even paler.
Have you only just remembered this now, Dazin? Because you seemed really weirded out when you first saw the dolls, and you were like trying to investigate and find out what he was doing.
Yes, I think the dolls were everyone we might have traveled with, because it's always the same people. Which interesting point. When Darzin was in Isaac's room, seeing as he's never had like he's survived the entire time since he's come into Barovia, would there just have been multiple identical Darzin dolls?
Yeah, they're pretty much all the same. It's the same with all of them. There's a little variation, a tweak here and there, where one has longer hair, or one doesn't have a goatee, or one has glasses or a scar, but they all look the same, pretty much.
I think he was having Blinsky make dolls of the people that he could remember when he died.
He died.
Yes, that grotesque mount dragged him beneath the waters in whatever chamber we were in, and he never came back.
So who did we see in the town then?
Well, I don't know if Darzin would know the whole thing. I don't. It's a mystery to me too.
Is there a
You
chance
have
that he
lived
survived?
a long life. You would have heard rumors among the Vistani, just their theories. They're never facts. This idea that no one leaves at all. Like the body may die, but there is still some part of you left. And meeting people that look very much like someone else you used to know, but it's so rare. They're just campfire stories. Till now.
So the Vistani believe all of that.
Wow.
And then he'll lean over to Victor and go, "Oh, yeah, I'm from the Vistani camps, by the way, if that's a
I-
problem for you."
I
Not
can
that I
see
care.
the address, and I do not give a fuck at all. In fact, I'm quite happy to have the focus shifted from me. Your story is much more interesting than mine. Let's talk about you some more.
Darzin Strasny, by the way. And then he'll actually make his...
Strasny, not Stranzi.
It's a one-letter difference. I think I might have misremembered the name when I got to pick it.
Curious, sir, I'm curious, sir. If you
Darzin,
don't mind, he'll get a book. He'll get some parchment out and start writing this down.
Darzin wasn't my choice, though. That one was given to me by Vistani.
I do not. We're past 10, but I don't know where to stop this background download. Like,
You just did.
One last thing. So, if you had been able to pick your name, what would it have been?
I don't know what I would have chosen, but apparently the name I was actually born with is Arakard.
Very interesting, Darzin. Why don't you type it in the chat?
Oh, I can type it in the chat too.
In the chat backwards.
Arakard. There you go.
Arakard,
He
not
writes it in a
Arakard.
book
A la
and shows it.
carte.
This is how you
I,
spell
I,
Arakard.
I was expecting it to be Alucard.
No,
Yeah.
But I thought
at one point I was like, oh, no, that's too on the nose. And then in my infinite wisdom, I went, I'll change like 2 letters.
I thought for a second your name was a la carte. It's like a choice of main starter and dessert.
choice of names. I mean, that's quite fitting. I mean, it's Strahd's dessert some days, starter other days.
It depends on the mood of everyone involved.
Backstory.
well, lots of backstory.
Love
NPC
it.
backstory, PC backstory.
Mm.
Ooh. And now Aragorn's going to disappear into the woods forever. You will never see him again.
Not with those stealth rolls, you won't.
No, he won't.
Well,
Thanks
I'm
for
going to have to
playing.
go after all then. Yeah, thanks, V.
Thank you.
Always delightful fun.
Good game, good game.
Game. Yeah.
I hate
I-
Victor.
Why?
He's
Hey.
just misunderstood.
Misunderstood. We should understand that.
You hate everyone in Curse of Strahd.
It does look like a vampire, though.
Apart from Graham. He doesn't
He's
like
he's
You don't hate
He's-
absence, do you?
no, I don't hate
Well,
Alison, and I don't hate
NPC
Milton.
wise,
I like
Three.
Irina.
you don't like
I
like
Irina.
Sarah.
Five. 5 people that she doesn't hate. That's quite a lot.
Graham's nice.
Oh, Graham's great. Just I don't know. The skeleton cat upsets me. As you can see, it makes my brain stutter and not be able to process properly.
him more about his cat.
Poor cat. Is the cat happy? Does the cat seem happy?
The cat seems indifferent.
Is it like a zombie where it's just its body is being used against like what would have been its soul's will?
It's just a bone puppet. It's animate dead.
Okay with that.
But he loved his kitty cat so much.
I love Mills. That doesn't mean I'd bring her back as a skeleton baby, skeleton cat. You can see that I'm very confused about whether my cat is a cat or a baby.
They're much less cuddly as well when they're just bone.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was thinking about having Darsin try and pet Tiger, as we now know it's called, when we were in the room. And then I went, no, first of all, it's a skeleton, and petting a skeleton is weird. Second of all, I have a thing about bones, and that somehow transfers into, I don't really want to pet a skeletal, like just the mental image of it. Like, scratching a skull.
I can't figure out how I feel about his relationship to Stella. Like, obviously, Alexander's completely convinced.
Mm.
But I don't know, and I don't like it.
The question is, are we now going to have to detour to Kresk to drop him off?
No, he can look after himself.
I think with the grand scheme of things, if we want to get out of here, he is working on that. So he is the lead, and would be in our interest for him to survive.
If he's telling the truth.
If he's telling the truth, yeah.
Well, if he can get it to a point where it doesn't cause more issues than anything else, because I just imagine it'll just take us back to the Death House or something. Would still end up in an infinite loop.
Yeah. Well,
You just gave me the idea now. It's going to be like going into Death House, clearing the whole thing, walking out the door, and immediately walking back into like another unexplored Death House. And you're like, great, I have to do the fucking Death House all over again for infinity. And every time I walk through the fucking front door, it resets.
Well, folks, I need to shoot off. Thanks for
Same
the
here.
game.
Steve.
See you, mate.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna stop the stream. There's no stream tomorrow, is there?
No, it's Theros, isn't it?
There us. Okay. Bye bye. I don't think there's anyone
Bye-bye.
watching, but if you watch it later, bye to me, and I'll watch this back at some
Thank
point.
you to the Reddit user that gave me the idea for this backstory for Victor. I don't remember your name.